Hannah is your host, let's go. If you wanna be in the know, in the spotlight is where to go. Industry celebrities of every kind. Teresa Hannah is your host, let's go. In the spotlight, the spotlight, the spotlight, the spotlight, in the spotlight, the spotlight, with Teresa Hannah.
You're in the spotlight with Teresa Hannah, and I'm so glad that you have joined me. Excited. A very good friend of mine who is a minister of music. He's a producer. He's a director. He's a business owner. I tell you what, his name is Eric Gordon Wright. He is the minister of music at the St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church in Houston, Texas. But he's also an entrepreneur, an educator in the music industry, and I love that about him. Now, look, he owns Wright's Music Studio, Wright's Music Production, Gordon Publishing Company. I know within that there's something that you're getting excited along with me because you probably really want to know about all these entities that he's over. And he's the CEO of the notable Touch of Keys Ministries, Inc., and a successful program, the Touch of Keys Fine Arts and Sports Camp, also out of Houston. And to break it all down, he has a management company called Gordon Management. So we're just excited to have him in the spotlight with me. I know that you guys are very excited for us to get going, and we're going to talk about some gospel, inspirational music, and we're going to talk about a little jazz as well, because this man of God is very flexible, and God has given him a lot of talent. So we're putting God's man of music, Eric Gordon Wright, in the spotlight with me, his friend. Yes, I am. I think for over 10 years, I'll ask him. We're putting him in the spotlight with Teresa Hannah. But first, we're going to take a listen to his music. I know that you'll love that. This is Eric's Touch of Keys Jazz Band, and they're going to perform for us Winter Love. Just enjoy. Spotlight with Teresa Hannah. You just heard Igor and Wright's Touch of Keys Jazz Band. You got a little jazz to get us going today. And now we're going to hear from the man himself, my good friend, my brother, Eric. Welcome to In the Spotlight with me, your sis, Teresa Hannah.
Hello, hi, Teresa. It's awesome to be in your company on today. I've been looking forward to this opportunity. It's been a minute, and we just excited about everything that's going on.
Oh, well, thank you so much. We're excited too, and this audience is very excited as well. I want to start out, talking a little bit about just a little background. You're a native Houstonian, and, I remember your parents. I think Louis J. and S.E.M. Wright, they were the ones that kind of molded you to become the man of God, of Yah, of Yahuwah that you are today. And I was so excited, especially your father made a great impression, upon me, because he he really did tell things the way they are.
That's right.
And then I remember your mom was such a sweet lady, and just a lady. That's what I want to call her, just a beautiful lady. And, of course, there's your sister. There's Stephanie, who's also my real good friend, and my sis. I love her to death. Steffi, love you.
Yeah.
So I guess I've known you, has it been over 10 years of friendship or more?
Yeah, it's about 15, Teresa. Yeah.
It's more, 15. Oh, that says we're getting older and better.
Yeah, that
anytime
time
you
is
get older, we'll tell the audience you get, really better. Really, really better.
Yeah.
I want you to tell them about a story that you told me about how you began playing the piano. I thought that was so cute. And you also talked about your mom. You talked about your dad who wanted the football star. Tell a little bit about that story of how you began to play the piano. What happened? I think Stephanie was taking all of the lessons.
Yes, Stephanie. They had started Stephanie with private lessons. And back in those days, I'm the younger brother, I'm the little brother, and she's the big sister. And so they would have me go with her to the lesson because they didn't want her going by herself. I was supposed to be her little brother, be her little protector. And so I would go to the lesson, and Miss Ruthie Wright was her music teacher at that time. And so I would go to the lesson, and Stephanie, it wasn't really clicking with her. She did the lesson out of obedience, to our parents, but she really didn't have the true, at the time, the passion for it. And so, I would go, and when I would go, I would listen in, and I would pick up on some of the things that Miss Ruthie, had Stephanie doing. So I would come back to the house and imitate it. I would go in, and I would, pick out those little tunes. And so a lot of times my dad thought he was hearing Stephanie practicing, but it was actually me practicing. And so, he would tell my mom, that girl's getting better. She sounded pretty good. But it was really me that he was listening to. And every time he would come to the door, because the piano was in the little, they had a little closed-in bin in the back of the garage. And so when he would open that door to hear the music, I would immediately stop. And he was like, where's Stephanie? I was like, I don't know. And so he would just go on, and every time he would do that, I would immediately stop, because I know that he didn't expect that it was me playing, because he didn't know anything about me playing. Mm-hmm. And so he basically didn't want, of course, his son, at that time, was the old school days, and they didn't want to, the boy, taking piano lessons and all that kind of stuff like that. No, he wanted the
football star, didn't he?
Yeah, the football, baseball. And so that's as time went by, it kept getting better and better. And this one particular day, I was just really at it, and I didn't realize that he was in the other room. And so that particular time, he caught me. He opened the door, and I couldn't stop quick enough. And he was like, "That's you? That's your playing?" I thought that was Stephanie. How long you been playing like that? And he got all excited to the fact that he couldn't believe that was me. Play what you just got to play. Play that again. Let me hear you play. And so I was like, do I play? Or, at first I wasn't going to play, but then I said, I guess I better go ahead and play. And so he told my mom, well, Avi, look at here. I'm thinking Stephanie getting better, and that's that boy not playing. And so at that time, I said the hat was out of the bag. It was no more secret, He said, well, look like he should be the one taking the lesson. and so, from there, I approached Miss Ruthie, the music teacher, and I said, I know you're teaching my sister how to play the piano, and I want to see if you would teach me too, and maybe you could teach both of us, and maybe you can give us a discount. And my mom was just blown away because she said, at that time, I said, now this is going to be a business, man. He's striking out a business deal already. And so she said, sure, I'll talk to your mom. She said, because I always felt that you had a natural, because she kind of was picking up on it herself, that you had a natural, gift, right, natural rhythm for it. And so I started taking the lesson. And so when company would come over, my dad would ask me to play something first, and then he asked Stephanie to play. And I guess at that time Stephanie started getting a little jealous, and she said, well, I guess I better get tightened up on my playing. It look like he's getting all the attention now. And that's when Stephanie really started taking a stronger interest and really started working harder, because she didn't want to be outdone by her little brother. And she
is a great teacher today. I just love her, and I love her gifts and abilities. Wow,
yes,
what a story. You are a musician. I think you're like a musician's musician. You're also an educator. You studied music at Texas Southern University, and it was while you were there, I think, that you organized your own music business. You were talking about you got started early when you did.
Rice Music. Rice Music Studio was.
Sister, but you decided to call that business Rice Music Studio, and you began to train children and adults in music instruments and vocal training. In the various areas of music. So tell us a bit about your Rice Music Studio.
Yes, Rice Music Studio was launched in 1988. As I was graduating from high school, I remember just like it was yesterday, I had a zeal, I had this vision that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, that I wanted to be my own businessman. I saw myself, owning a business, and a music business was the type of business that I saw in the vision. And I saw myself going forth, working, with, training not just children but adults as well in the different areas of music. I grew to have this passion for the different, styles of music and appreciation, and I just wanted to make sure that I could just give to the world. I can give this gift, that I know God freely gave me back, and be able to bless a lot of people. And I just always admire, the professionalism, the businessman, dressing up with the briefcase and the suit and the tie and going to work and being able to, be the person in charge, I admire that. And I know that, those type of skills will bring success in your life, and you'll be able to have a successful life and be able to live the way that you want to live, on the level that you want to live, and be able to have, those great things, but at the same time, be able to be a blessing to, to others. And so we launched that business, and we started out, our first student, came through there, and I knew that was just the first of many, and they followed from there, and people kind of already were familiar with us, being in the city, being in church, and hearing about us, and we was already performing at different events and stuff. So we had a little back end, a little fan base, and like they was waiting to see what we were going to do next, what was going to be that next launch, And so we got busy reaching out, And, within that first year, we was able to have our first music recital. And my music teacher, of course, she was instrumental. She gave us our first logo that we would use for our name. And she was excited, and she supported us and helped us a lot as well. And just different people in the church, gave to us. And our Southwest Houston was a booming area at the time, and I knew that was the place that we wanted the business to be. So I stepped out of faith, and I went over into the area and began to look for an office space to be able to have the business, because I wanted a professional environment. I didn't want to do it, in the home. I didn't want to do it in the church, because I wanted to be able to do all genre of music, and so I didn't want to have any conflict or disrespect the house of the Lord, with the different types of music. And so I knew that we were going to have a place that would be neutral to that. Mm-hmm. And we was blessed to get a place over on Gessner on the southwest side, and from there the business just started growing. People embraced it. People started donating office furniture. I mean, it was just a wonderful feeling to know that you had that kind of support, and you was just getting started. You was kind of learning your way. But we had the right people. We always had the right people that would embrace us and was
wonderful.
Wonderful. From day one, I look back at that, Teresa, and even today, God continued to put good people, in my life, in my walk path, to that can sow into the vision, and we able to do what we do, and we just, from there we began to just grow, and we began to have production and put on showcases. And, it went beyond just taking the lesson, because I know when we was taking, we would have an annual recital, and that was pretty much it. There was no other opportunity. So my dream was to be able to give other platforms outside just a recital that these kids can tour, and they have something to build towards. And so that's what we did. We would do talent shows and showcases, and then, like I say, the regular recital, and we began to build a company, and then we got into selling music. We wanted to get into the sales part, so we would have people who would sell us stuff wholesale, or we can sell in our place. And of course, back that time, everybody was still into albums, so we would get those albums, and we would sell the music, and it just began to just build from that. And then, of course, later that's when the recording part came to play. We began to get into that part.
Okay, I want to put a thumbnail right there, so to speak, and talk about something that was very dear to my heart, because later you formed, and I know it was a favorite group, and it also became a renowned recording group, Sounds of Creation. And they were a youth gospel group. I think you recorded about 4 CDs with them, and that group blessed many people, not only in Texas, but all around the world. And it was during that time, too, I remember that Sounds of Creation were very strong in the Houston area, but there was another group that was very strong on the R&B end, and they were called Destiny's Child. So I was just kind of looking at how that unfolded, how Sounds of Creation was coming up in gospel and Destiny's Child was coming up in R&B. And then I'm going to let you tell it later, but there are 2 alumni. One is very famous now. That's Major. He is a major R&B star. And then Amin Moore is also in R&B. They were both in the group Sounds of Creation. He's doing R&B, and, of course, he's touring right now. So I'll just kind of let you comment on those things.
Yeah, the Sounds of Creation, you're so correct. They were an exceptional group of young people with such great talent. They all were students of Wright's music school. They was taking music lessons, voice lessons, instrumental lessons. And Amin, the one that you spoke of, had just had an opportunity to appear on Apollo in New York. And he had never had any proper training. for vocal. And so his mom had heard about Wright's Music Studio and looked us up and got in touch with us and wanted to put Amin into some vocal lessons so he could become a stronger singer and learn how to use his voice better and be trained and be ready to do better and to grow as a vocalist. So he came to us, and right at the time that he started the class, they asked him to appear on Apollo again for the second time. And so his mom came to us, and they were going to do a fundraiser for Amin to be able to get to Apollo because during that time Apollo did not pay for you to come to Apollo. They would you'll be accepted on the show, but you had to get your own way to the show. And so they had asked if I would put a group together to back Amin up. And so I said, well, yeah, I believe in supporting the young people, and he has opportunity, and we have some great students, and we would do that. And so it was going to be an all-male group at the time, and Major was a part of that group of young fellows, and we put them together, and they did the fundraiser event. It was a great success. And right after we finished that event, everybody started coming up to me asking, what is the name of this group? When are they going to perform again? Who are they? Where they come from? Because they thought they was already an established, polished group. But we had just put these guys together to back up Amin, for this fundraiser. And so I remember Amin came to me and said, well, Mr. Wright, look like we need to keep this going. Look like we don't need to stop here. And that was so incredible about him because he was the one that the tension was really on, and he was the one that was getting ready to go back to New York to be on Apollo. But he was humble enough to want to look out for these other guys and give them that same opportunity. And he said, well, Mr. Wright, who knows? Maybe the next time they'll be able to go to the Apollo too. And I never will forget, that young man had that kind of heart. Amin was no more than maybe 13 years old at that time. And so we kept the group, going and never did give it a name. And then people started calling and inviting them out, to sing. And I never get Major said, Mr. Wright, we're going to have to come up with a name because right now, every time you introduce us, you just say the boys of Wright's Music Studio. And that don't sound too good. Major was destined to be a star.
And I really wanted to ask you, are you proud of the guys? I know everybody, they're doing their individual things. Many of them are professionals, but you got Amin, who is touring in R&B, but then you got Major that just kind of, broke out to become a major R&B star. It's just, what do you think about that? Because you definitely had a hand in that.
I'm just elated. I'm just full of joy. I'm just so proud of him because, I saw it from the beginning. This young man he had all the evidence. He had all the tools. He had all the things that go into to become a great singer, a performer. He had the skills. He had the practice. He was very serious. The young man would study. He would review. He would do everything that you asked him to do. He took it serious. He would study. Teresa, when I say this young man used to study me, he would be there. He would be the last one to leave rehearsal, the first one to come, and the last one to leave rehearsal. He took it so serious. And, Major started with us when he was 5 years old. So we watched him, go from almost like a baby and develop into this youth, this young adult, this young man to the man that he is today. And he went through all the steps. All the music schools, from elementary through middle school to high school. He graduated from HSBVA, the High School of Performing Visual Arts there in Houston. And he went on to Berkeley there in college. So he stayed in step. He stayed in line. He didn't wave. He didn't walk away. He was patient. He took he realized that it was if I'm going to do this, then I'm going to have to be consistent, and that's what Major did. and the gift always was there. He always had such a versatile voice. Because Major would do jazz, he would do big band, he could do classical, he could do gospel, he could do R&B. I mean, you name it, Major could sing it, you know. And he wasn't afraid to experiment and to try it and to perfect it, you know.
I am so excited about his success. And whenever I see him on a major television show, whether it's the BET Awards or whatever, I just scream, because I know that little boy. I mean, I knew him as a little boy. So
I know.
Just wonderful.
And the greatest thing that he did for myself and my sister Stephanie, because she, of course, had a major hand in it as well, is when he invited us to the NAACP when he was nominated for a new artist, and he had us to come up, and he took care of us, and we went to the award show and did the red carpet with him and all the behind scenes.
Praise God, praise y'all. He gave you that honor.
Yes, he did.
How wonderful.
He sure did.
I want you to mention briefly, I'm going to talk about 3 other components that are you: Wright's Music Production, Gordon Publishing Company, and Gordon Management. Can you do a small comment on each of those businesses for us?
Wright's Music, of course, is the entity that does the training, prepares individual for a full, career in the music, prepares them as an artist, making sure that they are sharp, making sure that everything, the steps are there and they're compliant to those things that's going to give you longevity in the music career. Then the Gordon Publishing is where we can begin to develop, if there's a artist or individual that has some writing skills and looking to be able to write and publish and go into that area of the music business, because what we've always tried to do with the individual is show them the broad part of it. It's not you don't have to just be an entertainer or the artist. You don't have to just be on the stage. There are a lot of things that you can do as well as, to write and to be a writer, to write for yourself or write for others. Yeah. And I have to throw that in. Major has done that. Major is writing for others, and he's writing his own material. And so it gives you that place where you're able to capitalize on so many areas and so many opportunities. And so that publishing side does that for the individual. And then on the production is that we can introduce them to the recording, prepare them for going into the studio and having the discipline that you have to have, because performing on a live stage is different than going into a recording studio and recording your music. And so we give that opportunity to develop that artist to be developed for recording and the discipline of recording and being sharp and understanding the pitch and all of the things that define you. Because what happens in the studio, you have to capture that live part in the studio, because there's no crowd, there's no audience. So you have to carry that with you when you go into the studio, and that's the part that's in your heart. That's the part that's in your mind. So you're able to still perform to that same level that you would do if somebody out applauding, or you got the noise of the crowd supporting you. Yeah. And sometimes artists have difficulty with that because they feel lost sometimes when they get into a studio, because it's just you and the mic. So you got to carry all that energy into the studio with you. And so we're able to prepare in all those different places and making that artist become, reckoned for, to be that star that they can become.
Wonderful. This is some good information for those who are listening to us and may want to go into the business of music as a performer, working behind the scenes, production, songwriting, or whatever. This is just wonderful. What about Gordon management?
After you have the artist, once you recorded, you made the music, then you have to look at that you need somebody to manage it, because you know, a lot of times artists say, well, I can manage myself, but that's kind of difficult. You know, I've learned that as an artist myself. You need a team. You got to have a team that's going to make sure that things are prepared and placed for you. Somebody who can speak for you, understand what your heart is. What is the heartbeat of you as an artist? And they represent that. And so that's important that you understand what do you need from a manager. And so we teach those principal things to an individual, to an artist, that this is what you need to look for, because there are so many people who ended up in the wrong place, the wrong management team, the wrong person representative, and they become somebody else. They're no longer the artist that they started out to be. And I had that conversation even with majors, not too long ago. And I asked guys, how do you continue to keep your identity as you develop, as you grow, as you get bigger and bigger? And he said that I never take my hands off completely, because if you completely take your hands off, then you can become someone else.
That's right.
And so that management part we felt was very important. So we said, well, we must add that to the to the pie as well, because that part can still be it can determine your success, if you're successful, if you're not. Because if you have a wrong management working for you, they can hurt you, they can kill you before you even get started.
Well, this is all some really good information, and I know that people are taking it to heart, and some probably want to write some things down. I want to stop right now and just remind everyone that you're in the spotlight with Teresa Hannah, and my very special guest is Eric Gordon Wright. He is an industry leader. He has various businesses, Wright's in Houston, Texas, Wright's Music Studio, Wright's Music Production, Gordon Publishing Company, Gordon Management. He is just poised to take you to that next level for your project or for who you want to be in the entertainment field. Also, Eric, would you at this time let people know how they can contact you if they would like any of the services of the Wright Empire?
Yes, my website is Touch of Keys, TOUCHOFKEYS, touchofkeys.com. Also, touchofkeys@yahoo.com. So you can reach me at both of those entities, touchofkeys.com, touchofkeys@yahoo.com. And then my information number is 713-677-3744. You can dial that number and leave a message, and someone will get back with you ASAP.
Okay.
713-677.
Repeat the number again, please.
713-677-3744. 713-677-3744.
All right. Eric, you're also a professional recording artist in your own right. You're a writer. You write. You're an arranger. You're a composer. And I know that you do that in both areas of gospel and jazz. Just comment a little bit on the you that is the professional recording artist.
Well, Teresa, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I'm right in the process of working on a new single, Jazz.
Wow.
Jazz, I'm real excited by it. This is a piece that I've been working on for a while. How they say, you got to leave it in the oven sometime for a minute or more. And I'm hoping to be finished by the end of this year. I'm hoping to release it right at the end of the year around Christmas. Be a great Christmas gift for someone.
Be a great Christmas gift for me. I'll love it.
Yes, and I'm going to be collaborating with some other musicians on it. On real site, I won't call the name right now, but it's some big folks in the house, some big people who have came aboard to collaborate with me with this very special number.
We have to come back and do another show and just talk about it, because I know it's going to be fantastic.
Yes, I've every time that I've performed the song, the feedback and the response and the it's just been awesome. It's just been over top. And so that's how thank him. As a writer, that's what you look for. You look for how the audience, the people, how they're responding to the music, because music should receive a response. You deliver it, and then there should be a response back. And that's what I look for, Teresa, as a writer, as a musician. That name, Touch of Keys, I truly want to touch the minds, the heart and souls of people with my music. And so that's why I strive for an excellence, to give that best performance, that best production, that complete, song, and look for the response. And when that response comes back, then it drives me to work even harder, to do more. And I believe that all the great wonders have gone before me, and those that are still with me, I know that they share in that same mindset. Stevie Wonder, Patti LaBelle, Anita Baker, all those, Smokey Robinson, all those greats, John Legend. We do music for a response, and we want the response to reflect what was coming from our heart when we put it out there. And if a musician writes like that, they can't miss it. They can't go wrong.
All right, excellent. I wanted to make everyone aware that you are doing live appearances weekly at the Houston Club. That's a historic club in Houston, Texas. Feature pianist for the awarded Bush Room, and of course Brady's Landing Restaurant. So can people still catch you there if they're in the Houston area, Eric?
Yes, they can. Unfortunately, Brady's Landing is under reconstruction. Was one of the restaurants that was hit real bad from the Harvey storm that we had this past year, and so they are still under that construction. From that, they hope it to be back up and running by the first of the year. But that's one of the historic spots here in the city that I've been able to be a part of that lineup for. I guess it's been about 10 years now. Every Friday or Saturday afternoon. Great.
All right. So when you're in Houston, you need to stop by and check them out. Where is it located, Eric?
Brady's Landing is located right off of 610 and Broadway, over at by what they call the Port of Houston, the Ship Channel area, is located right in that area. And
that's Brady's Landing Restaurant.
Yeah, Brady's Landing. But Teresa, we can't forget about the other secret that's coming out of hand. I've been blessed to have my own spot now in Pearl Land.
Let's talk about that. Give us the name of it, where it's located, and how we can enjoy when we get to Houston.
Yes, Jazz Night Out with Touch of Keys is the last Friday in each month. We have a spot there in Pearl Land, right there on 518 Broadway, 9223 Broadway. You can come enjoy some of the best jazz with me personally, Eric Wright, and my band, Touch of Keys Jazz Band, on a Friday evening from 7 to 10. Come in and enjoy some of the best jazz. We always have surprise guest artists coming through, and we're excited. Pearl Land is a very thriving, growing area of the city right now, and we're excited to be able to have that spot, that place right there on the main road into the Pearl Land place.
Wonderful. Oh, I am just so excited. I can't wait to come and be a part and just sit and enjoy the great jazz that you guys do. It's just incredible music. Incredible.
Yes, it.
Also, you have done performances with Bobby Jones Gospel, Showtime at the Apollo. You've done performances and interviews for CBS in Baton Rouge, their local morning show. Of course, in the Nashville market with my show, the Nashville Gospel Show. So I'm very excited about the things that you have done. I'm very excited about the shows and performances. Are there other performances that I need to add to my list?
There's been so many and so many private opportunities. You know, I've had opportunity to play for presidents, former presidents, ambassadors. That comes through the here in the city. Just so many opportunities.
Yes.
You know, it just the list just grows and it just go on and on.
All right, great. I'm going to turn my attention now to family. You're married to a beautiful lady, Sharon Wright, and you guys have a beautiful little one. Well, she's not little anymore. I remember when I used to always, you would send me the pictures, her school pictures, and I said, wow, she's little here, and I said, oh, she's bigger there, and I said, oh, she's bigger there. Charmant Wright is now just blossoming into a young woman in her own right, and she's also following in Dad's footsteps, isn't she?
Yes, she has a love and passion for music. She sings. She loves to dance. She's playing the piano. She has the gift to play the piano, and she loves it, and I feel good to know that it's not because I'm pushing her to do it. She has the natural love and desire that's in her, and that makes a difference. Because sometimes we want to be a copy of. We want our children to be a copy of us, and sometimes that's unfair, to the child. And so, but some more since she was born, she's been dancing and singing and playing the piano, and she's getting ready to go to high school. This is her first year in high school, and I was sharing with her, I said, it's going to get tougher. The competition is going to get greater because you're growing up, and the higher you go, the more you're going to run into more people talent like what you're doing, and so you got to work hard. You got to be ready to be able to what sets you apart, what makes you different. And of course, my wife Sharon is the love of my life. We try to do our best to support her and to be that example for her, and let her know that whatever you decide that you want to do, you have our support. We just want you to work hard and do your best, and it starts now.
All right. Lovely, lovely family. And please give them my love. I can't wait to see them. Hope to see them real soon. But leading out of that, I want to go as quick as we can into your comments regarding the Touch of Keys Fine Arts and Sports Camp, because that's very dear to your heart. You've been doing it for several years now. Tell us about that camp for children.
Yes, Touch of Keys Fine Arts Camp is a summer camp program that we do here in the city. It's a nonprofit organization supported by donors and private contributors. And this was our 11th year of the camp. We've been able to partner with the Precinct 1, the commissioner, Rodney Ellis, here in the Houston area, and the Hester House, Finnegan Park, Pinecrest Presbyterian Church, and we're able to do a 6-week camp where we offer opportunity to those young kids that are less fortunate, don't have the opportunity to take private lessons, to do those kind of things. And we go to those communities such as 5th Ward and 3rd Ward and Sunnyside, Southeast, to offer those programs so those kids can have the same opportunity. It's something that was dear to my heart after the passing of my dad. It was kind of like a turning point of my life, and I felt that it was time for me to reach back and make a difference and give the same level of excellence that I've always have given through, Wright's music. And Touch the Keys Fine Arts Foundation was the vision that was given to me, and we were proud of it. We're growing. I have a staff now of over 15 that works with me around the year round, and we also launch our after school music program. So we're doing it in the fall and spring as well. So it's like 365 days a year. We're able to offer this program, and it's growing, and we are real proud of it, Teresa.
Excellent. I really wanted to get into some of your ministry reflections. I don't know how much time to get everything done, but I'm just going to start with, I'll just call out a name, and you just kind of let us know where that person fits in your life. Ruthie Wright.
Ruthie?
Yes, Ruthie Wright.
She was the person who embraced me and taught me everything that I needed to know as a pianist. She was just profound. She was a very skilled pianist, and she poured into me, and I'm so thankful unto her.
All right. And I think it's Reverend Golden.
Reverend Golding was the first church that I had opportunity to work with and work in the music ministry as I was 13 going on 14 years old. And Miss Ruthie introduced me to that pastor, and his wife embraced me and took me on.
Viola.
Yeah, Viola Goldine. She was she was so instrumental in teaching me my hymns, that I would know all the hymns of the church, and she would have me learn a hymn every week, Teresa. Every week I had to learn a new hymn, and I'm so indebted to that, because that was such an important piece. Because if you're going to be a church musician, you need to know the hymns of the church, and she did that for me, and I'm able to sit down and play them just like ABC because of her.
All right, very quickly again. Lily, I think it's, Lila Harper of Baltimore, Maryland. Very quickly, tell us about her.
The lady who introduced me to the organ, the Hammond organ.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This awesome organist. Gave me, yeah.
And presently serving as Minister of Music at St. Mark Missionary Baptist Church. Tell us a bit about what you're doing there under the direction of Pastor James W. Glenn.
Have the responsibility of overseeing the entire music ministry. We have the children music ministry. We have the youth. We have the young adult, which is called TUG, Teaming Up for God. We have the institutional choir. We have the male chorus. Oh, do we have a male chorus? Awesome group of young men. You already know the secret there, right?
I know the secret about the recording. Tell us a bit about the recording and the name of the song. Can we get it? All those good things.
Yes, we just had the opportunity to record the Men of St. Mark, the male chorus album, that first album debut, titled He Loves Me. And we're talking about God loves and how God loves us. And that single is out right now. It's available online through all the markets, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube. You can just Google St. Mark Male Chorus, and it will take you right to the music. We are so proud of them. We did the CD release with this past Saturday. We released the CD. It's already being played. Several radio stations have already befriended us with putting it in rotation. He Loves Me is the one to look out for. Our request, the title song of the album. A group of 25 strong brothers that we was able to come together as we prepared to celebrate 124 years of church ministry there at St. Mark. Next year we're going. Yeah, we are so proud of those brothers.
I am so excited for you. Eric, I'm going to ask you for your contact information once again, and then I'm going to ask you for a final remark. And hold on, we're gonna stop tape and start again.
Okay.
It just came on, didn't it? Mm-hmm. 5, 4, 3, 2. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm just excited about everything that you're doing and all the wonderful things that you're doing at St. Mark. Just praise the Lord. I want to give you an opportunity to give us your contact information again, Eric Wright, and if you have any final remarks for us.
touchofkeys.com, TOUCHOFKEYS, touchofkeys.com. Also, touchofkeys@yahoo.com. touchofkeys@yahoo.com is the email where you can reach out to me. My number for information is 713-677-3744. 713-677-3744. Teresa, this music journey, this music career, this music has been a part of my life from the start. And I just want to say that I'm so thankful that God chose me to richly gift me to do so many things in music and be able to polish and be able to be the leader I am as a musician, as a business owner, that I'm able to reach and make a platform and make a difference in so many young people's lives. I thank God for creating me and creating the gift in me. And I owe him my all, Teresa. I love him. I love him for the rest of my life. And that same love I want to continue to give to the world.
All right. I want to thank you so much. You've been in the spotlight with Teresa Hannah with my very special guest, Eric Gordon Wright. And we really want you to keep in mind all of the wonderful things that we talked about in terms of recording and music publishing and management and how to reach your dreams of being the artist that God intended for you to be, not only in R&B, but especially in gospel or any other genre of music. And we thank you, Eric, for being the leader that you are in our gospel music industry. We thank you so much. I have about 2 songs that I want to put in a mini concert. Eric Gordon Wright, Touch of Keys. They are Soul Reflection and TOK Intro. So right now, without hesitating, I just want this audience to enjoy the Touch of Keys. God bless you, Eric. God bless you.
God bless you too, Teresa. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Audience, enjoy this mini concert with E. Gordon Wright, Soul Reflection and TOK Intro. Listen now.
the spotlight, the spotlight, the spotlight, in the spotlight, the spotlight, with Teresa Hannah.
Get at me for beats, yo.